Good evening, happy weekend. Hope all is well. Part two to the price of beauty. I wanted to do an open panel at a later time because I wanted to get my ish off and not be distracted and subtracted. But one moment, let me get this screen together. Give me a minute, guys. Okay, boom, there we go. Yep, so part two, this is gonna be an open panel. Anyone I'm gonna drop the link at some point. I'm gonna let you guys come up and talk your ish. Hi Jose, how are you? Thank you for popping in. If I have some background feedback or any noise, please put a one in the chat. If I sound okay, put a two in the chat. Thank you so much. So I want to do a part two to this because I was really engaged in my conversation this afternoon with y'all, but I wanted to get dinner prep early and get it done. I didn't want to be cooking dinner at 7 o'clock, so had to go, but I'm back now and I want to open up the panel to you guys at some point. But if you guys saw my earlier stream this afternoon, I have two. Okay, great. Thank you, Jose. So yeah, I did a stream earlier this afternoon. I was pretty much talking about the price of beauty. I went in on my experience regarding my relaxer stage of my hair journey when I was getting perms and relaxers, and I talked a lot about the negative side effects that I went through and I experienced that pretty much ultimately led me to going natural, and now I got dreadlocks. So yeah. I wanted to hear from you guys. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who went through that. I'm pretty sure, Black, Brown, Latino, even, Caucasian Americans, they actually perm their hair, relax their hair. So I know I'm not the only person that had this experience. I want to hear from you guys. If you are a woman of any background, ethnicity, I don't care. I want to hear about your relaxer experience. I want to hear about the negatives, the good, the bad, the ugly. If you have an experience, I want to hear from you. So I will definitely throw the link out. Let me know if you're interested in popping in. This is a safe space. I want to know about your experience because I have dreadlocks now. I'm definitely not going back. But I did a panel. I did a stream this afternoon, and I felt like it was very engaging. I had a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people viewing, good feedback, and I'm like, okay, let me open this up for a part two. So, firstly, for me, I want to just let you guys know that I want to know from you guys, do you have a horrible relaxer story? Yes or no? Have you had a relaxer from a professional? Have you done your own relaxers? Have you experienced burned scalps or scabs from relaxers? Have you had any of those things at all during your relaxed days? If you have, those are the people that I want to talk to. Again, I know we all have different experiences. What works for you guys may not work for me, vice versa. But again, I showed you guys the pictures. I showed you guys the videos of the things I personally experienced. So right now I'm gonna actually throw up those pictures and videos just real quick, just to remind you of what I'm talking about. So right here, this is the creamy crack and full effect. This is what it looks like, when you're applying relaxer to your hair. This is generally what it may look like if you're, getting a perm. And here in this picture is another part of getting the relaxer. This is the process of how your hair was actually processed. And yeah, there's a lot of horror stories. Again, these are some of the things I experienced, such as burn, as I said earlier, as well as such as this right here, the scab. So if you have a story, if you've been through this, let me know. I'm gonna throw the link out to the chat to let you guys, venture ish and tell me your story and share. Because I know we all have a different experience, So again, some of you guys probably had a great experience, never had any kind of, anything at all, and you're probably still getting relaxers to this day. I definitely stopped getting relaxers probably in 2015, 2016, 2017, something like that. That was the last time I had a relaxer in my hair. Since then, I have definitely been natural. And I think even before that, 'cause I think my natural journey started in 2015. I have to go back. But at this point in this live stream, if you're still here, you're still rocking with me, you can relate, you know what I'm talking about, please do me a favor, put a like on this video, subscribe if this is something for you, share if this is something for someone you know. I'm pretty sure someone will appreciate this. So for me, you guys know, as I said earlier, I went through all of those experiences, but I have some questions for you guys. I want to know from you guys, what motivated you to get your hair relaxed? Why did you choose to relax your hair? And if you did get your hair relaxed, how often were you getting your hair relaxed? Were you one of those people that was getting your hair relaxed as soon as you saw some new growth in your roots? Were you really disciplined and doing it, every 8 to 12 weeks? What was your regimen? What was your routine if you had one? And I want to know from you as well. If you got relaxers, what was the result? Did you have a negative experience, or was your experience good? You probably, you may not have had a negative experience. Not all of us have negative experiences. I definitely had a lot of positive experiences. I'm not talking about the positive experiences right now, but I definitely had some negative experience and some positive experiences. For the most part, they were positive, but it was definitely hit and miss. As time went on. But I know this conversation is for somebody. I know it's not just me. I know somebody else has been through this. So again, if you have a horror story, if you've been to a professional for a relaxer, if you've done your own relaxer, if you actually experience a burned scalp, you experience scabbings, if you experience lost hair, if you experience matting, blisters, pus, bleeding, any of that nature doing to relaxing your hair, I want to hear from you specifically. If you know somebody who's been through that, I want to hear from you specifically. That's what tonight's conversation is about. It's going to be an open panel. Again, as I said, I'm going to definitely throw the link to the chat and the stream at some point. I definitely want to hear from you. And if you new here, you know what I'm saying, you cloud watching, replay watching, unique viewer watching, you know what I'm saying, definitely let me know. Hashtag your city, state, country. Let me know where you from. I'll definitely shout you on future live streams. It's all good in the hood. It's all love here. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all comments exposed in the grown. Shout out to people that caught the first part of this stream earlier today. So that'll be Third World Colombian, Urbi Fatal, Introvert Boricua, The Latin Explaining with Denise Gonzalez, on comments exposed in the grown. Shout out to all those guys. They definitely jumped on the stream earlier when I was talking my ish about my personal experience, from when I was down with the relaxed creamy crack era. And I'm not with them no more. So, it is what it is. Currently, you guys know I'm blocked. This is kind of what my hair looks like right about now. I definitely have like a platinum bleach blonde kind of look, and my roots are growing out a little bit, but it's all good. Again, if you're new here, you're still here. Please make sure you like and subscribe. So I am definitely going to let you guys know. If you don't know, I have a lock anniversary coming up. June 1st, 2024 is my 4-year lock anniversary. So geeked about that, so giddy. I don't even know what I'm gonna do as far as what I'm gonna post, for that day or for that week on YouTube. But I definitely need to do a nice thorough journey from day one to now. Good, bad, and ugly, pictures, photos. I would love to make some kind of collage of that kind of, thing, just to celebrate that 4 year. And again, you guys know birthday's coming up in about 11, 6 days. About, let me see, today's the 5th, 14th, about 8 days. 8 days, birthday coming up. So Taurus season is here. Give that girl some love. Taurus season is here. You know what I'm saying? So it is Taurus season. It's the vibe. It's definitely a vibe. Bull season right now. So again, this is why I'm having this conversation, because I'm gonna open up to you guys to be able to speak your ish, say what you feel about this conversation. If you fall into this category of people who experience, relaxers, if you jumped on if you saw the stream earlier, you know what I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna throw it out there. There may be some men out there getting relaxers. If you're a man who's getting relaxers, hey, I want to hear from you too. If you're a teenager, you out there getting relaxers, hey, I may want to hear from you too. If you're a senior out there getting relaxers, hey, I want to talk to you too. Like, there is no limitation. If you're getting relaxers, you're getting creamy crack, you're getting Revlon, L'Oreal, Cream of Nature, Motions, um, any kind of perm relaxer, make your hair straight. I want to hear from you. I want to hear about your experience. So let me know what it is. So at this point, I'm gonna definitely throw the link out to the chat for anyone to come up and spit their 2 cents, 3 cents to talk about their experience. Getting relaxed here, getting relaxers, getting touch ups. I want to know, your experience. And if you don't have relax here and you don't know what relax here is, I don't mind educating you if you come up as well. So boom, there goes the link. You can pop in. I love to talk to you if you fit into any of these categories. We can really chop it up about the relaxed hair era, the good, the bad, the ugly, aka the creamy crack days. Let me know what your experience is. But now I'm going to show you guys some videos of, some of the pictures I showed earlier when I did this live stream of some of the really, really, you know, damaged looks you can have from having this type of product or chemical in your hair. So I do have a guest up right now that I'm surprised to have because I wasn't thinking this person will relate, but I guess the person does relate. So one moment, guys. Have a guest coming. One moment. I'm looking for my little video clip thing I do. Oh, here it goes. Welcoming to the stage right now, Mr. Uncommon Sensible Jose Negron. Hello, Jose.
Good evening, Kisha. First of all, thank you for allowing me on your platform. Um, Obviously, I don't have dreadlocks, okay, but I do have an opinion nevertheless. I think it's great that there are content creators like yourself that share your own story regarding your dreadlocks, and talking to those who do have hair that they can create dreadlocks, to the proper care and things of that nature, what to do, what not to do. I mean, I've been bald for the last 30 years, so obviously I'm not gonna have any dreadlocks. But it's great that people like yourself that give properly educate people regarding how to take care of their hair, particularly for those who wish to do dreadlocks.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Tonight's stream, I'm actually talking about, before I had dreadlocks, when I had relaxed hair, when I just had straight hair, like when you met me. I'm talking about, the chemicals I would put in my hair to keep it straight so it wouldn't be, an afro or, intimidating or, wild. I would get chemicals to make my hair more relaxed and straight, and just talking about the damages from those products and chemicals I used.
Yeah. I think part of the reason why people put all that stuff is that they want to create a certain image with their hair. So that's why you put relaxer and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes they don't put in the relaxer or whatever it is properly, which results to you know damage to your skin and damage to your hair.
Yeah, a lot of women actually had lawsuits from having cancer as a result of having chemicals in their hair from relaxers, and actually had wins against companies such as Revlon's and L'Oreal and Cream of Nature from actually having medical records to support their claims of recalls and relaxers being more dangerous and doing more things than just straightening their hair.
Well, I think this is like a cautionary tale, particularly to the young women like entering the teenage years, regarding what not to do with their hair as far as what chemicals, because and again, part of it, it's an image that ladies are trying to maintain.
A- Absolutely. And once you learn that, some of these ladies are really not doing all these styles to their real hair and that they're wearing wigs and weaves and that their regular normal hair is protected under, you feel a little bit silly to know that you risk doing these extreme styles to your hair when the people you're idolizing had a wig or a weave on and didn't damage their own hair.
Well, the fact of the matter is, what you don't know, and leading to expose you to stuff that if you bother to take the time to do some research, you would think twice. I mean, you would think twice before you put in all of that chemicals um, on your hair. And you're talking about chemicals that can actually leave burn marks. That's not a good thing.
That's true. Chris Rock, the comedian actor, did a movie called Good Hair. I think back in early 2000s. I think 2005, 2009, something about that. And the movie was pretty much based on women in the weave industry, buying all this exotic hair, such as Malaysian, Bohemian, water wave, this silky, shiny, smooth, soft, straight, a European style hair, and how much money Black women specifically and brown and Latino women spend on fake hair per year with the Chinese people as well, and how much of a profit and effective business market it is, buying hair.
Well, the fact of the matter is, it is a billion-dollar industry regarding uh, hair care, or supposedly hair care. Okay, and not only that, as far as the weaves and things of that nature, uh, but I mean, a lot of it, you need some common sense, and it's certain chemicals. I'm sorry, it was never meant to be placed in on your hair.
Absolutely, but we definitely get it. Like I had my live stream earlier that you popped up to, and I was talking about the first time I had my hair straightened. It wasn't even a perm. It was something called a hot comb or a hair straightening, where you actually put a comb on a stove to heat it up to get hot, and they would actually comb your hair with a comb, and blow it off, blow the smoke off your hair and comb it with some grease, and it would get your hair really, really straight. It would appear like a perm, but it wouldn't be a perm because as soon as you got your hair wet or you sweat, it would curl back up to your natural state. But that was something called getting a hot comb or getting your hair straightened, and it was very dangerous. You could also get blisters and open wounds and scars from that because if the heat touched your skin would burn, but you would get a straight hair appearance.
Mhm. Question: what was your motivation to put all that stuff on your hair? Was it you trying to maintain a certain image?
Well, back then, in the late 80s and early 90s and mid 90s, I definitely thought that, straight hair was pretty and that my thick, curly Afro style hair was not. Most of my friends in school had silky, soft, pretty, straight hair that didn't act or look like my hair. And I definitely idolized that, as well as actresses and models and singers and actors on TV and stuff like that. So the motivation was pretty much seeing it all the time and not having it and wanting to appear that way or experience that lifestyle.
Well, one thing we have to bear in mind that beauty comes in various forms and in various ways. Okay, I mean, you can have so-called kinky hair that looks very beautiful if it's properly maintained. And I mean, when I mean properly maintained, make sure that you wash and actually use hair products that is meant to be used on your hair. Okay, um, so there are women that looks beautiful with straight hair. There's beautiful that look beautiful with curly hair. There's women look beautiful with kinky hair. Okay.
Amen. I agree. Too bad at that time my vision was blurred and I thought straight hair was always the way to go.
Well, let's keep it real. I mean, there are women that can actually wear straight hair without going through all that mess. It's putting all that chemicals and steam and what have you. There are others, it's just, it's better just to keep the hair curly or keep the hair kinky.
That's true. And I learned through every stage of my hair journey. It all required maintenance, time, and patience. Some were more expensive, some were less. And thus far, I feel like I like the dreadlocks more than anything I've had so far. The relaxed hair, the natural hair, this, I feel like this for me is my style, my speed, as far as cost and maintenance and stuff like that. I feel like I'm not breaking the bank.
Well, when everything is said and done, okay, I've seen what you look like with your dreadlocks. You look absolutely beautiful. I mean, uh, you know, I mean, women can wear dreadlocks and it look sexy. I mean, all of it has to do with the attitude and the proper frame of mind.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. The attitude and the frame of mind has a lot to do with it. But I will admit, I still think, women are beautiful and whatever they choose to wear, whether it's dreadlocks, afro, perm, wig, weave. Every woman is beautiful, however she feels beautiful. I just remember my journey and my experiences when I had those stages of my life.
Well, at least this way, you can like encourage your daughters, uh, to be proud of their hair, whatever texture it is.
Yes, that's definitely a conversation I have with them. They're not ready to transition to dreadlocks, and I respect it. I definitely want them to have their own hair experience. But they're figuring out their journeys as well, and so far they're not cutting off all their hair, so that's a good step.
I mean, I even seen women who have shaved their hair completely, and they look very attractive. Again, a lot of it has to do with your personal choice and your attitude.
Exactly. Look at Doja Cat. Like Doja Cat shaved her whole head, and she still kind of looks attractive because she's very confident. Her energy is really, enlightened, so to say, and like I don't know, like she still has fans. No one's like, stop following her because she cut her hair off. Like she's still making music, looking great, and she's sexy, she's hot, she sounds good, and that didn't change anything. Her cutting her hair off didn't change anything for her.
Mhm. See, that should be an encouragement, particularly for the young ladies, is that you don't have to have straight hair if it if it's not if you don't have the texture for it, or if you have to put like a lot of chemicals and steam it and heat it up and possibly building your scalp to do it. I mean, just work with
Hmm.
whatever you have. We have to deal with whatever God gave you to use.
Yeah, for sure. Because again, like, as long as you feel good with what you're wearing on your head, that's all that matters. It's not for you to please everyone else, about how you're wearing your hair. It's for you.
Exactly. And look, I've seen black women with blonde hair. I've seen women with blue hair, pink hair. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's whatever you feel comfortable in.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong too. I think, sometimes certain hair colors are a little bit too far out there, too extreme, but certain colors I think are cute. But it's to each his own. I see now no matter where you go, whether it's McDonald's, the hospital, a restaurant, you're gonna see somebody with green or purple or orange hair. You're gonna see somebody with tattoos. You're gonna see somebody with body piercings and body modifications. So, like it's great to see that people are not discriminating on what people look like. But we still have some kind of discrimination on certain levels. In certain environments and places. But I just feel like there's more things being accepted now, so to say.
Well, I mean, the good thing about, okay, I'm going to speak as far as a municipal employee, is that now there's a greater tolerance regarding individual hairstyles and things of that nature. And people are free, both male and female, to wear their hair as they see fit, as long as they are comfortable with it.
I mean, I guess that's a good idea. I remember like going to Trader Joe's, like the supermarket, and always seeing like the cashiers and the people that work there looking very freely expressed and, unique in appearance and not looking, the way you would expect people to appear at work, so to say, like different color hair, tattoos, piercing, body modifications, and at certain points, I think we all thought to get a job that you have to have a certain kind of look, and now we're seeing that that's changing a little bit. You can have green hair now at work. You can have pink hair at work and purple hair at work sometimes, and tattoos and body piercings, and depending on the industry you work in. Your hair really may not be an issue, but certain agencies and companies, are really more strict about what you should look like. But to say what you're saying, yes, I see more and more of that popping up.
I think it has more to do with the corporate image that they're trying to portray. Like some of the companies may tend to illustrate a more conservative corporate image. So therefore, when you have an individual with multicolor hair or hair that's not the typical color, um, or a particular hairstyle, it can, it can pose a problem according to the employer. But the fact of the matter is there is a greater tolerance regarding individual hairstyles.
Let me ask you a question. When you're out and about in public, say you're at dinner, a movie theater, a spa, a gym, or with family, or you're out somewhere where you're gonna, receive a service or purchase a product, does it matter to you what the person looks like? If they have purple, green hair, dreadlocks, afro, like, does their physical appearance matter to you? Is that impression, impressionable on you? Like, does it, like, does it affect you in any way as far as what you expect to see in the business, as far as what the employee looks like?
I expect people to be properly groomed. When I mean properly groomed, is that they bathe daily, that that their attire, that they're wearing clothing that's not soiled or ripped or what have you. So I do expect a professional attire, so to speak. But as far as the hairstyle is concerned or the piercing, I mean, hairstyle, I don't really care that much. As far as piercing, I mean, as long as like they don't go crazy about it. And as far as tattoos, I mean, everything within limits. I really don't care all that much. What I care about is that they provide me the service that I require.
Okay, I feel the same way. So, for example, if I'm going to the nail salon and the person doing my feet has green or purple hair, I'm not bothered by that. If I'm going to a restaurant for dinner and it's a date or it's with my girlfriends and the waitress has tattoos or body modification in the face, I'm not bothered by that. But I will not lie, if I see a person at work with body modifications such as, those unique piercings that stretches out the earlobes and the lips and, the facial skin, I won't say anything, but I will be, kind of like, awkwardly, sneakily staring. I won't lie. It would be something that would be a little bit of distraction to me. I wouldn't like discriminate against the person for choosing to have that, modification, but it would be something of interest. Like, wow, like I've never seen this up close. Like, it would be something I would be like, okay, wanting to like probably look at more than I should possibly, but it wouldn't be a discrimination factor for me, like treating the person differently in any kind of way.
I'm more concerned about the person's grooming habits than anything else, because when you're dealing with the public, uh, you do have to be, you do have to be properly groomed, which means you don't wear clothing that's been soiled. You don't have like a pungent body odor, okay? Because because you are interacting with the public.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've definitely had those experiences or have come across people with, pungent body odors, or have had a pungent body odor coming from the gym myself. And, in a work environment, that could be awkward and weird and uncomfortable to approach someone or, be next to someone who is, having that, odor or whatever the case is. So in certain environments, yeah, that can get a little bit uncomfortable for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about it. You're going to a restaurant, for a meal, and the person comes to you. Basically, the person has like a very pungent body odor. The person appears that has not bathed in any length of time, and the clothing has been soiled. I mean, that's not going to create a positive dining experience for anyone.
Yeah, that's very true. It definitely is. But I definitely remember like, back in the early 90s, the late 90s, filling out applications and reading manuals and specifically remembering in many job applications the specific area where hair color, hair nail length, nail color, there were specifics on what was not acceptable, as you filled out the application. And hair color and nails was like one of the major things that was on all applications, how they had to be well, well kept, professional length, nothing too outrageous out of the window, or unsanitary if you're working in like a food environment, so to say. Like they were very there were more specifics on what was okay in the work environment. And now it's definitely a little bit more lax, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on the industry you work in.
Well, I mean, I'm not all that concerned regarding hair color, as long as the hair is properly maintained. As far as there is like a certain dress code in general. I mean, I know as a municipal employee, there's certain clothing that you cannot wear. You cannot wear like flip flops. You cannot wear like shorts or ripped t-shirts or things of that nature, because you're trying to create a professional image. It's the same thing when you serving in an industry, like whether it be a restaurant industry, you're trying to maintain some semblance of a dress code because you're representing your employer.
Absolutely. I think, the one time or the one area or environment I want to see people, I may be concerned with, hair color or how hair is kept at the work environment is, in a place where I'm being fed. If I'm being fed somewhere, behind the scenes, where we never see behind the scenes. We never see the chefs and the people actually cooking our food. We just see the person bringing it to us at our table. But, I think that probably be the only time I would be, a little bit concerned. Like, okay, I know what my hair color, when I'm cooking it for my family, I know, my hair can be flying while I'm cooking and everything like that. So, like, that would probably be the only time, but again, we don't even know. We go to restaurants, we go to movie theaters, or, we go out to eat or drink in places, and we don't really see everything that's happening. We just see when we get it in front of us. So we don't know how things are, sanitarily done. We just assume it's done with the best, intent.
Well, another area where you have to be careful because of close personal contact is like in the medical field. Whenever you have dental work done, or if you have if you're hospitalized and you're in recovery um, due to a procedure. I mean, you need to have make sure that the staff have proper grooming habits and things of that nature. Again, the hair color doesn't is irrelevant as long as your hair is properly maintained.
Absolutely, definitely. I remember working, in many different environments where, a hairnet was required. We're being I worked in Madison Square Garden for about 4 years, and I remember being in the food court working as a food and merchandise worker. And every time I was cooking, I had to have a hairnet on. When I was on the cashier side, sometimes I had to have a hairnet on. It was just a rule. And if you didn't follow the rule, you would get like write ups and points to make sure you will remember the next time.
Well, let's keep it 100. When you're talking about like dreadlocks, or you're talking about individuals that have a lot of hair or like an afro, you do have to have like a hairnet to make sure that none of your hair actually land by mistake on the food that you're preparing.
Absolutely. It's an innocent accident that can realistically happen, like again, it doesn't matter if you just got your hair done or if you were stroking your hair, if you had a hat on, like it just happens. I see it happen when I'm cooking sometimes. Like, oh my gosh, how did their hair get on the rice? Or how did their hair get here? Like I'm like, okay, I'm not wearing a hairnet when I'm cooking. It's hot and the window may be open, things I'm moving around. It happens.
I mean, it's one thing if you're preparing a meal for your significant other, okay, or your children, and maybe one strand of hair, might accidentally land on food, and it's not going to be a big deal. It could be a big deal if you are like preparing food for a restaurant and you bring you bring an order and then there's hair on the order. That could be a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah, it can actually lead to, getting a full refund for your order possibly too, or likely leaving a bad review on Yelp or the company's website. Every company has like an Instagram or social media. People are very quick to write a review or check a review nowadays before they go to a place for service or business or anything like that. So in today's world, that can go really far, even though that can look like a minor situation.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and that is applicable to anywhere in the service industry, whether it be at a restaurant or whether it be in a hotel. Okay, it's very important that the staff be have to practice proper hair hygiene, and as long as the hair is properly maintained, that's the main thing.
Exactly. Even if you're having some kind of surgery, like all the doctors, nurses in the room should have the hairnet on, the scrub outfits on, all the extra gloves and protective measures. Like there's just certain places you expect to see it happen. Like, you don't have to ask. Like you just know it's a sanitary place and its environment is, in the best of standards, so to say.
Well, speaking about that, I mean, as we all know, I'm having a procedure done at the end of June. The last thing I want to note is that any of the medical staff does not practice proper hygiene whether regarding their body or their hair.
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't want to think about, but realistically, we know mistakes happen and sometimes mistakes can be small or big, but at least you'll be there to witness and make sure everybody's suited up the right way. Like, okay, y'all on your A game, y'all here to do the right thing. Everybody looks like y'all prepared to do what y'all have to do. But we've heard those horror stories, not to scare you, about doctors, doing crazy stuff or, totally messing up and lawsuits and all kind of side stories about things that happen to people and like minor surgeries or major surgeries. So we're wishing you the best of success in your surgery and best recovery and speedy recovery, of course. But I think for you, you'll be fine for sure. But things do happen, and it's people are not robots, they're humans.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, mistakes do happen. And first of all, thank you very much. But again, like I said, what's very important, um, in people who are in service industry, make sure that they practice proper hair care. When I mean proper hair care, make sure that their hair are washed thoroughly on a regular basis. Make sure it's shampooed properly on a regular basis, and you know, not be so concerned about maintaining a certain apparent, as far as keeping their hair straight when it's not physically possible. Just making sure that the hair is properly maintained.
I want to ask you a question. How often do you like maintain your hair as far as wash, condition, or you comb and everything? Like, do you have a specific hair care routine, or did you have a hair care routine at some point in your life?
Well, at this point, being that I don't have much hair left, it's I mean, I, I mean, part of the reason why I came out tonight, so as to illustrate the point. As you can see, I mean, there's not that much to do with my hair. I just make sure that I bathe daily. Okay, so I mean,
Well, I definitely see, you have some thinning, but that doesn't mean that you don't still treat it with tender loving care and oil it or wash it or whatever the case may be.
yeah, I mean, it's washed, and every couple of months, I do get my hair trimmed. I mean, um, of course, every time I have my hair cut, I mean, I end up spending less time getting it cut because unfortunately, I don't have that much hair left. Now, one person actually suggested I shave it off completely. The reason why I don't do it because then I'm gonna have to like every couple of days constantly shaving my head and to maintain a bald image. Um, I'm just too lazy to do that.
I was gonna just suggest the same thing too, but I didn't think about how fast the hair will probably grow back. So that's probably a thing too. Like if you don't have a personal shaving kit, you probably be tired of just managing and keeping that up often or weekly, whatever.
Yeah, and actually, there are people that look very attractive bald. Okay, um,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just that I just can never see myself in that way.
Well, I get it. We all have to do what makes us comfortable. Hence my little dreadlock diary channel. Like I like my dreadlocks or whatever. I didn't like my relaxed days sometimes, and I didn't like some of my natural stages. So we all got to do what's comfortable for us. I definitely understand that. I know men now are well into hair care and hair pieces and hair aesthetics more than ever before. There are a lot of men hair care tips and products out there for men who have hair loss and trying to do different styles and techniques to their hair. It's not just women. Men have a lot of resources they can use now as well for thinning and filling in pieces of their hair. So what do you think about that stuff?
Well, I think part of it has to do with the dating market because the dating market is very rough nowadays. I mean, uh, first of all, because I'm gonna try to not sound like I'm women bashing. I mean, even though I say like this disclaimer many times, but unfortunately, you have some women and you have some men who have outrageous expectations regarding the opposite sex concern, regarding a particular look, a particular bill, that they have to make a certain income, not realizing that there are very few that actually make that income, and those that actually do have that bill and have that income, well, they have their pick of the litter as far as the ladies concerned.
It's a lot of pressure, when I guess when you're dating, like, looking for the guy or the girl that has the right physical image, mental image, well rounded, whatever background you're looking for. It's probably a lot because you're probably not gonna get everything you're looking for. Like you may get the total package on a physical appearance, but maybe mentally something's not where you want it to be, or maybe they may have a different belief, or they have made they may be selfish, or there's so many things to go into that. But I definitely see what you mean when you say that. Like, sometimes it's hard to find that total package, or you got to build the package, or try to compromise with the package. It can get difficult in the dating scene.
Yeah, and as a result, you have women with the sprinkle movement. Um,
Excuse me, please clarify what the hell is sprinkle sprinkle? I'm
okay,
sorry.
this is something that's a movement that some women have created, that they're expecting basically the princess treatment, where
Oh, okay, okay, okay. They want the man to, put out and do mostly everything, and they don't gotta do nothing, and they get all these rewards and benefits, and they're not even a wife or whatever, whatever, and they just want all this, princess service all the time.
exactly. And then as a result, you have what's called the soft guy era of the drizzle movement, basically expecting the women to give the guys the same treatment that they've been expecting, and a lot of it is us playing satire. But I think it's very com- comical how some of the women actually gotten a connection fit over that, and I think part of it is that it's basically they've been exposed to the same type of logic they've been exposing us men for a long time.
That seems to be a very interesting conversation. Outside of our circle, I'm seeing a lot of drizzle conversations. So I'll be trying to catch up to them, but I ain't gonna lie, like with the new job and everything, I'll be kind of tired. But I'm seeing more and more drizzle conversations, just pretty much in short. And I see that's like a trending topic right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I think it's just basically the pushback regarding the sprinkle sprinkle movement. Okay, and while I mean you cannot blame some of the men to actually to take the so-called rhetoric of some of these sprinkle girls and apply it to women. I mean, but again, as I stated before, you have people of both sexes with unrealistic expectations.
And let's remember too, a lot of guys get so excited, especially the black guys. Don't hate me, black women and black men out there, but especially the black guys, as soon as they see a little Barbie doll girl or a girl that looks extra perfect, whether she's BBL and lipoed out or not. She has that long bohemian Indian hair in her family, and all the proper parts sitting up, and she's a yellow bone, light skinned girl who may speak a language or not speak a language, or she has an exotic eye color. That's it. They forget all their morals and values. It goes right out the window, and they fall for that girl all the time. And even if they know she looks like a gold digger, sounds like a gold digger, or a schemer, or a booster, or a scammer, it doesn't even matter. He can know she's all of those things, and he'll still be in them tainted waters, just trying to shoot his best shot, thinking it ain't gonna happen to me.
Yeah, we got to keep it real. And let me tell you something. Late last year, I met this female, um, of all places, Olive Garden, around Christmas time, and we just having a conversation. I gave her my number. I wasn't trying to like pursue her like for a romantic relationship. So this is a friendship, but eventually I had to like block her because she was giving me fatal attraction vibes.
Yeah, she was trying to lock you in, Jose. She was trying to make you hers, and sell you the story, and and play the role and try to get into your accounts and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you something. Um, Whenever someone wants to all that radically get intimate right away, I'm thinking, well, if you wanted to give it up to me, how many other guys have you given it up to? I mean, it's like,
That's right. These little hot Somali girls.
and eventually I had to block her completely.
I get it. These young girls want them an older man who's in their, certain ages, so they feel like, they don't gotta do much. They can get much out of him, and they can have that kind of mental control. Little do they know, these older men are smarter than they think.
Well, actually, she was not. She was like in her 40s, like her late 40s. So she wasn't like a younger. Um, but it does that. First of all, I'm not the type of dude that smash right away. That's never been me.
Good for you. Good for you, because well, some of these little young Thundercats, as soon as you do that, they think they automatically entitled to your money and hair and nails and car fare and money for books and school or whatever they got going on, and that's how the trap starts.
Yeah, I mean, and let me tell you something. And and again, let me make it perfectly clear. This applies to some women and some women only. So if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But I mean, they have these crazy expectations that they have to have their rent paid, that they have to have their nails done, their hair done, and they have to go, you know, dine at these 5-star restaurants and things of that nature, and that the whole thing, sending up cash apps, you know, or like paying for their babysitting right away. It's like, excuse me. I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely extreme, but just to know, like, you ever saw this show called Catfish, Jose? It came on MTV.
I heard about it. I never seen it, but I heard about it.
You gotta catch an episode of that show. Long story short, they show you older guys, younger women, younger guys, everybody pretty much being taken advantage of online, and people sending them money on Cash App and paying their rent, and and they never meet the person. The person always has an excuse why they can never meet up in person, and people be going sometime years, months, sending money and never meeting them, and people are getting over on people. It's like a vulnerable situation, and some people really get the cops involved, and people just end up confessing that they lied and they weren't who they said they were. It gets really nasty and messy, but the point of it all is that realistically right now people fall into those traps.
Yeah. Good evening, Sunkiss. Thank you very much for stopping by. Look, I remember a situation where I have an uncle that married this Dominican lady, and he furnished the apartment completely. One day he went home and the apartment was completely empty, and my uncle went ballistic. He wanted to go to the DR and go after this chick. And my mother had to convince him not to do so because, um, you know, you know, because it would not have ended up well had he gone to the DR and confronted this chick in her own country. It would not have ended well.
Yeah, you see what I mean? It gets really messy sometimes. Like, and again, I think for girls under 25, this is definitely a scheme. This is definitely a scam. This is definitely hot topic trending. This is definitely something that they're doing for those specific girls that's into that specific life that, this is, their way they make money. This is a hot topic. Like, I have relatives that I be telling them like, better watch out for these young girls, because they looking for a guy like you or a woman like you, to take advantage of, because again, they know mostly for the most part that if they get a guy who's that much older and they're in their early 20s, under 25, if that guy is married, they don't have a lot of worry or stress because he's going home to his wife regardless of whatever. He can't act crazy, get too stupid or demanding because he has to go home. And they know ways to satisfy that man, by doing things that may be inappropriate to some of us as we may think. And yeah, it's a whole game. It's a scam. It's a money maker. It's what they do, and they're proud of it.
Yeah.
Hey, goes in. Hey, son, thank
Hey,
you for
Gigi.
coming in.
But you know something. But you know something. I'm gonna talk about myself. Okay. First of all, I'm not young. I'm 61 years old. I'm old. I'm bald, and I'm fat. So I know that the fact of the matter is, realistically, my best shot is to look for someone like in my 50s or in my age range. I'm not gonna try to pursue someone that's in their 20s or 30s because basically, um, they're gonna be looking for someone to support their crazy lifestyle.
Yeah, like I can't imagine being in my 50s and my 60s dating and like, well, first of all, I hope in my 50s and my 60s I'm looking like bad, like I'm still looking good, But if I'm still kind of looking the way I am, I'm still fit and mobile, able to move around, everything like that. I would hate to know that, if I'm not like, if I'm not like, I just would hate to know that 20-year-olds are hollering and trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? Worst case scenario. But I understand it can happen because, that's what we see now. That's how all these court cases are with Weinstein, Epstein, Cosby, Kelly, is these younger girls and these older men. Like we're seeing this. But I want to introduce a new guest to the panel, welcoming the queen from Florida, my girl Gigi. And thank you, girl, for coming through.
Hey,
Hey,
Gigi.
honey. Hey, Jose. How you guys doing?
We're doing fine, thank you.
Good. I
Hey,
shared both of
girl.
your videos. I wanted to hit your panel real quick, cause it's like usually when you go live is during the day, and if it's not early, I got the kids or whatever. So right now I have the time, just to come up and show you some love. So what are you guys talking about?
Well, we was really talking about the price of beauty, the creamy crack era. So now that you're here,
Uh-huh.
you're a female because Jose's talking about how he ain't got no hair. Well, I wanted to know, have you ever had a perm? If you did, can you tell your horror story? Have you ever had like a perm horror story? Like you ever had a scab or a burn or lost some hair? Like you ever had any of those experiences from relaxers?
Yes, I got my first relaxer when I was like in sixth grade. So I was probably like 12 or 13. And I'm not gonna lie, of course I loved it because it was like, your hair lays, like, you know what I mean? And your shit's all like running them fingers through it. But
Mhm.
obviously it's that's how it draws you in though, because then you get like you gotta like upkeep it and stuff, and it does take a toll on your hair. And it did eventually fry out my hair and I had to cut it off and start from natural again.
Okay, so did you ever get to the part of your hair experience where you actually perming your own hair? Were you always going to professionals to do your hair for you?
No, I was doing it myself, girl, right from home. You already know. Burning it up with those African queens or whatever it was called. You
I got you. Same here. So my next question for
Uh,
you, Queen, is: have you ever experienced any like scabs or burning or hair loss
yes.
from doing your own or even professional? Please tell us that story.
Well, it's not really just like a horrific story per se, but I definitely have left it on too long, burned my hair, burned my head, got like, scabs or whatever. But I will say though, since I have like a really big fluffy hair, so I would lose hair, but it really wouldn't be obvious because I had so much hair. But I definitely have like burned it to the point where I had scabs. Absolutely. It's not pretty. That
Yes,
burn is,
those
yeah, that
scabs
burn is something terrible.
is not pretty. And I wanted to name the stream earlier, The Price of Beauty, because at some point we all convert to that, like, okay, well, we gotta have this because all the girls in the magazine or all the aunties or friends in the neighborhood or the girls in the magazine TV, they got straight hair. So we gotta have straight hair to have that appeal. And it's like it's a lot of work dealing with straight hair. Like it's expensive. Like you gotta stay on top of it, and like your shit can get like broken off in one, two, three if you're not on top of it.
Yeah, we don't have Beyonce money, you know what I mean, to keep it.
Hmm.
But well, even though she said she didn't relax, but you know what I'm saying. Like it definitely is a
Yeah.
lot of upkeep, and you got to spend money. You got to keep it moisturized and all of that. I do believe though you have to pick and choose your battles, like she said, where it's like if you're gonna if you're gonna do relaxers, then you probably shouldn't be dying. If you're gonna be dying, you probably shouldn't be
Yeah.
relaxing. You know what I mean? Pick or choose your
Hmm.
poison. Hmm.
So Jose, like, what do you think about when you see these pictures of girls with scabs and scars on their head? Can you believe that women have been doing this for years, experiencing this type of pain just to appear more beautiful in their mind or outside of their mind? Like, as you see these videos or images of like the actual scars women go through just to, appear to, have a look. What do you think about that?
It just impressed me what women would go through to try to maintain a certain image. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, um, there are many types of beauty. I mean, you can wear fluffy hair and you look gorgeous. You can have kinky hair, so-called kinky hair, look gorgeous. You can be completely bald and be completely gorgeous. A lot of it has to do with attitude. Okay, but unfortunately, um, there are some women that try to keep an image that it's impossible for them to keep, and they just need to be comfortable and acceptable with what God has given them.
Yeah, so since I started doing relaxers at a very young age, when I finally let it go, I did the big chop and just regrew it out. I actually found out that I like my hair more in its natural state. And I feel like all of us really would probably feel the same way, right? It's just that we're kind of brainwashed to think that, oh, it has to be this certain
Mm-hmm.
way for it to be
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. But like I love a big beautiful crown. It makes you stand out. It is exotic. They use the word exotic, but regardless if you're whatever you are, it is something different. It's stereotypical white type hair is more normal, I guess, because there's more of those type of people with that type of hair type in our country. So it is exotic when you have like your natural crown or whatever. And I think that people really do find beauty in that.
Absolutely, definitely. Like I feel like again, we weren't taught to love and appreciate our natural curls until we lost it. And once we lost our natural curls and our natural beautiful texture and grade, that's when we began to appreciate like, oh my gosh, like if I could only have that back again, I would do X, Y, and Z.
Mhm. Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's why a lot of women do the big chop, and start over. Did you do the big chop before you did your dreads?
I didn't do the big chop before I did my dreads, but I did do the big chop to cut out the perm prior to doing my dreads. So I was still getting like wash and blows and like that flat iron thing to do like like the
Mhm.
wash and set. So I still had like heat damage and everything, and I actually just lost like a piece of lock because of that, and I was freaking the f out. But I charged up to the game because I remember my my damaged processed hair. Even when I was trying to be natural, I still had a lot of split ends, a lot of thin spots, and I was just trying to like cut every time I went to the salon versus doing the big chop. So I knew I still had some damage, but I didn't realize that damaged processed hair, even though I was natural and cutting out the perm, I didn't really realize that that would carry into my dreadlock experience for not doing the big chop before the locks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it seems
it made
like
sense when she explained this to me. I'm like, okay, so I didn't feel so attached to those locks that had to be popped and crocheted and repaired.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah,
But I
I
can
think a lot
it's
of
it's
us
it
don't
is
talk
a
about the
journey though,
fact.
right? Doing that big chop because like starting over, it's like it does take a lot of confidence to just I can imagine just starting the dreadlock journey and if your hair is not long and you're just starting off and growing, you have to go through that phase. Just like when you chop off your hair and you have that awkward phase of like, growing out or whatever. So it takes a lot of
Mhm.
confidence, right?
It definitely does. Like I definitely remember being on YouTube a lot before I started actually like doing podcasts or any videos. I remember going to YouTube and Pinterest every day and looking up videos like how to rock your fro with confidence, like how to hook your hair up. And I saw a lot of girls talking about how you have to accessorize around your hair and do makeup and big earrings. Draw attention to where you don't want it to get through. And I felt like I kind of learned that enough to like make sure my outfits was cute or my makeup was popping or something like that. So when I had those bad uncomfortable hair days that didn't look so great, my outfit was popping or my makeup was good. So like people didn't remember their hair, they remember something else about me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, Irby. Hi, Celine.
Hey,
Hi
Celine. Hey, Irby.
Irby. But yeah, I just feel like, even right now, a lot of people don't talk about the negative side effects of the relaxed process perm days. They just still manifest and talk about the glory of the straight, pretty, bounty, bohemian look. They don't talk about the scars, like, when you're in the hair salon getting your hair permed and you're telling the chick, yo, it's burning. Like, I want you to wash it out. She's like, no, mommy, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. You're not ready yet. And you're like,
You
oh my
always gotta
God, it's
squeeze them
burning, it's
extra five
burning.
minutes in there.
Yeah, and it's like when you feel the water on your scalp, like you
Yeah.
know you got a scab, you know your scalp is ruined, and there's nothing you can do about it. Then you got to sit through the 3 shampoos with the lye, and you're burning. You want to peel yourself. Then they want to do the conditioner is burning. Then they want to scrape it and comb it and brush it like it ain't an open wound. It's horrible, and no one talks
And it
about
really
that.
is a lazy fix because I mean the truth of the matter is if you don't relax your hair, you just really have to work. You got to put in more effort in your hair like we all do. So it's better just to put that effort into your natural hair, I think, than to, you know, expose your hair and your body to all of these toxins which they say is like causing cancer and,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
there's just like a lot of and it just turns your hair dry and brittle at the end of the day unless you have like money to always go to the salon, always get these treatments, always keep it up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, it's expensive. I feel like it's more expensive than being natural or having dreadlocks. But again, like I don't even know. Are people still perming their hair right now? I guess yes. Like are there a lot of
Yeah,
people
I'm
still
sure
perming
there
their
are.
hair?
Hmm.
Because I feel like
Well,
a lot of people are going natural, even Hispanics. Like they're not perming their hair as much. I feel like they're wearing their curls.
Yeah, I
Well,
do feel like it's just like kind of a natural movement for real coming on in 2024. Also, like you notice, even with the bodies, a lot of the celebrities are taking the plastic out, skinny's back in more so than like outrageously thick. So trends always change. So women, we just really need to be careful about subscribing to certain trends that will like you can't turn back from, plastic surgery and stuff like that. It's pretty extreme. And even perming your hair is it's extreme because you might have to start over and chop it all off.
Yeah, go ahead, Jose. I know you want to say something. I don't mean to cut you off.
well, unfortunately, like I said, even though I'm bald, at least I don't have to go through all that. That's basically all I have to make sure that when they cut my hair, just keep it short and trim and neat. I mean,
But
so
they say that those plug implants for men are very, very painful that the men are going through. I heard they were very painful.
I never thought about those hair
Mm.
plant. I mean, look, I mean, I know I don't have much hair left, but I would rather deal with the little hair I have naturally and just make sure it's keep it nice and trim than try to put a hair plan and have to go through the pain of whatever it is that they go through. That's just not me.
Hmm. Yeah, Celine said Myron from Fresh and Fit has hair plugs.
That's funny. But yeah,
Well,
like I feel like hair is everyone's inner ego confidence sometimes. And if your hair is not looking good or if it's not feeling good, like, like I've had scabs and blisters and all of that. Like when your hair is jacked, it's like your whole energy is jacked.
Yeah. But everybody's saying like it's true because I believe that too. A lot of times, most of the time, men do like some meat on women, but once women have their minds made up about something, there's no stopping them. If they decide it's being crackhead skinny is the thing for this year, then that's what it's gonna be. Or if it's like, oh, I'm gonna get the most ridiculous fake butt that you can even imagine, and the thighs don't even match, then that's what they're gonna do. So I hope it doesn't go all the way back to where the place where like everybody was anorexic, and I just hope that everybody can just kind of like accept their natural, just try to work on being the best you can be with what you got.
well,
Amen to that.
see, in
Hmm.
my case, I'm 61 years old, so it's like, I mean, if I wasn't in a relationship, realistically, the best shot I will have is someone that's close to my age.
Yeah. Hmm.
For
Okay.
for sure, but again, like I think not for nothing. Like like Gigi said, everyone's trying to get into like their natural hair state as some way, somehow, to appreciate their natural curls, their natural texture, their natural gray. Even men, I feel like a man, like I see all the men doing this minoxidil thing, and they're doing the pieces and the fibers and the sprays and all these little accessories like women are doing with lace fronts to build that confidence from them within. So it's like both ways. Men and women are doing this. This is trending on both sides.
I saw a video the other day and they were talking about how now we're in like a position in society where everybody wants to they're craving realness. So like like a couple of years ago, all these influencers were blowing up with like their fake lives and their fake money and stuff. But now everybody wants to see your scars. Everybody wants to see your flaws. Everybody wants to know what's the tea. You know what I mean? And so it was a very interesting, thought
Hmm.
provoking video that I watched. Yeah.
Speaking about tea, of course, I mentioned earlier today that I actually have a discussion with my ex for the first time in over 10 years. My ex-wife.
Oh my gosh, that's
That's
interesting.
interesting.
So, look, one thing, and I've said this a lot, that we were both responsible for the th- for the divorce. So I never blame my ex-wife completely 100%. Okay,
Hmm.
so I mean, it takes two to argue, and it takes two to keep a marriage, and it keep needs two to destroy a marriage. So basically, I mean,
So do you
and I
feel
was
better though? Have you got a little bit of peace from maybe closure from that conversation?
I mean, this is the thing, and this is something that I spoke with my ex sister-in-law. I don't have a problem with the conversation. The minute that it decided to go soft, that's when it's like it's a wrap. And
Right.
yeah, but I mean, I don't harbor any ill will towards my ex-wife.
Hmm.
Guys, my computer is dying. I'm sorry. Can I get some last minute reviews on our conversation?
No,
Okay.
I have to go anyways. I just wanted to squeeze in and show you some love. Thank you so much for having me up. You know that I always support you, sis. And I'm happy. I see that your other channel's growing as well. You're doing so great. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. And I just love you
Yay.
both. And I will see y'all later. Bye, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you, Gigi. Love you. Bye bye. Jose,
Bye,
any
honey.
last words?
Well, first of all, as always, thank you for allowing me on your platform. It is a bit of a challenge since I have never had dreadlocks or what have you. So it's more. My approach is basically you need to accept what God's given you. Okay, if you're not able to have straight hair, try to have curly hair. If you can't have it, try to do work with what you have naturally without putting up all that relaxer and all that stuff. Okay, because basically, what you're doing is just deceiving yourself to try to maintain a false image as far as what what you have. Just be happy with what you have, and of course, by all means, for all those who have not done so, please check out not only my main channel, which is Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, but I also have another channel called Latina Diaspora, where I discuss issues pertaining to Latinos, particularly Latinos born and living in the United States. With that being said, thank you very much. I will share this stream on my community tab later tonight. Um, and a huge shout out to you for all your success.
Thank you so much, Jose. Have a great evening. I'll definitely be catching up on your channel as well as soon as I can.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, and shout out to everyone in the chat. Take care. Peace.
Thank you so much. So that's all, guys. That was it. This was, open panel conversation for people to jump in and say what their experience was, with the price of beauty and creamy crack on their end, good, bad, and ugly. I shared the stories about the scabs. I shared the stories about, the burn marks. And, this is something that was my life for a while. I was a part of the creamy crack, foundation. I was getting perms and relaxers. That's what it was. And now I'm not. I'm definitely happily dreadlocked, and this is my diary. This is my journey. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out to the chat. Shout out to everybody who came through. Have some background noise, but please, bear with me. Bear with me. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Replay gang. New viewers, subscribers, returning watchers, cloud watchers. Thank you all. This is my diary. Peace out.